Alright, so I got my hand pieces. The next thing to do is the face. This is relatively simple. In fact, actually, if I just go to face and click and drag across, that's weird. How do you know? Oh, because I'm on that tool. Let's just say I go to W, and then I go to face, click and drag across it. You can see all that's left is are these parts. So I'm gonna hold Control, click and unselect this. Hold Control, click and unselect this, and everything that's left is just the face here. Okay. Now I can manually select it, but you can see that it's just simpler doing it that way. Now, mine's very obvious that it's a sphere, and yours is maybe still a sphere. Like, I just didn't do a lot of sculpting on mine, so. But I'm just going to go ahead and basically do a spherical map. So UV, and we'll go to spherical. And I'm just going to move this over so I can see a little bit better. And that looks okay. So you see I have these little pieces off. That's not great. And there's also this like weird thing on the inside. That's the mouth on the inside. So I actually got to go through, and I'm just going to click on that, hit after frame, and I'm just going to grab the inside edge of this mouth here that goes all the way around, and I'm just going to cut that. Polygons, cut UV edges, and then I'm just going to go to V, and I'm going to go to the select UV shell, and I'm just going to click, and I can pull this off. Voila. Alright, and I'm just going to hit like W. We'll go to face. I'm going to reselect it, and I'm again, because if you look, basically, just so you get an idea, if I hit 4, it's that inside of the mouth that we modeled before. You can see it now. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just do UV, and we'll do a spherical just on that piece. And that's over here. Alright. It's not that great, actually, but whatever. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it. You see how it's mostly red. I'm going to grab the whole thing, and I'm just going to flip it. Boop, and now it's mostly purple. And there we go. So now we have all of our pieces made. All of these things here, these are just the other half and stuff, and I'm not honestly all that concerned about those right now. What I'm doing now is just go through all the pieces and basically fix them, okay? So, starting with the feet down here. So I'm going to hand that F. Okay. The bottom's fine, because if you look at the bottom, that's basically what the bottom of the foot looks like, okay? But if I did want to kind of fix it, I could just select it, go to Tool, and you could just do the Smooth UV tool, and basically just go ahead and do Unfold, and you just click and drag. It might be different where it's like a brush, and you can brush it on. Let's see, UV lattice. Let's see, what's this one? Mine does not have some of the other tools, but yours might be a little bit different. Okay. I do the same thing here, so I'm going to select it and Unfold. And you're going to see basically end up with this. Now what happened was that I cut this edge, but it also, let's frame on here, it also cut these this way. And I don't want it to be cut those ways. See what I'm saying? So you can see if I, oops, let's just go to UVs, and I'll just do W. You can see like this is cut from itself. Okay, so it basically cut it all up. I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is undo that first. I'm just going to go to edge. I'm going to select an edge, and you notice how it highlights the other one because these share an edge. And all I'm going to do is polygons, move and show UV edges, and that will snap them together. And I'm just going to find pairs, click on this, hit G because it was the last thing that we did. And then here, G, G, and G. Okay, and there you go. Now what I need to do is, because there's that little tiny beveled edge, I'm just going to grab this and move this over and make it tight like the rest of them are. Take this, move this over like that, and I'm going to select the whole thing and try to do the smooth UV, and let's unfold, see if we get a little bit better results. Okay, so you can see it's overlapping, so I got to fix that. I can manually just move them, but there's also the smear UV tool, which is right, where are you? It's one of the, this is it, smear UV tool. Creates a brush, so B, all right, and that just lets you kind of click. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on there. Let's go to UVs, smear UV. It's kind of weird. I'm not sure what's going on with that. It's acting a bit strange. Let's try this again. let's do a different one. Let's do the Tweak UV tool. It's not really doing it either. UV smudge. UV smudge. Smear UV. It's just... I'm not real fond of that. Maybe the one I want is the smear. That's not doing what I want. And the that's very strange. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so it's the UV smudge tool, which is what I thought I selected, but I must not have. Okay, so I'm just gonna manually just kind of click and drag these off. Now it's the strongest in the center. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of pull this over and move that, move that, move that. Try to get this over here, and I'll make this a little bit smaller. And we'll grab you, grab you. All right, and I'm basically just gonna try my best to get it to go, and I'm just gonna try and make it as even and nice looking as possible so that it's not all stretched out. All right, so something like that. Okay, good. So the feet are good. Then I'm gonna do is grab this part, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do the Smooth UV tool, unfold, and just keep clicking and dragging. Yours might be a brush, like I said. That's good. That should suffice. All right. Let's go ahead and do the arm and do the same thing here too. Unfold, 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 unfold. Okay, that looks pretty good. And now we have the body here. Okay. So I have an issue here where basically you could see that these are kind of moving and cutting across, which makes sense because basically I went around, but you can see it's connected on the center here, so I have to fix that. The only way to really fix that is actually just to cut it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, go to just hit like the move tool. I'm going to select and see what I'm dealing with here. So I'm going to pull this one down. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. Try to get the most outside one, then pull it down. And let's see, move that there. And kind of pull this down. So on and so forth. Just so I get an idea of what it's supposed to look like. So you can kind of see. Okay. So that's basically what we're dealing with. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this. I'm going to cut this here and here. And I'm going to cut it here and here. And I'm just going to go polygons. Cut UV edges. Okay. And now those will no longer be attached there. I'm going to select the center one here. And let those be attached to each other. So I'm going to do polygons. Move and sew UV edges. So now those are snapped. And now what I'm going to do is go to UV. And I'm going to select here and pull off. Select here and pull off. Now it might be when you go to do this. Let's see if this one does it. You might accidentally grab the top one. If you do, like let's say I wanted, for some reason I was trying to grab the top one and I go to grab it and it's not grabbing the one I want. It keeps grabbing the top one. Just click on it, then hold shift and click and it will undo and grab the other one. Okay. But for me, it's actually grabbing the right one. So there and there. Beautiful. And let's see, if I go to edge, I can grab this one again, polygons, move and sew UV edges. Good. All right. And UVs. So that looks pretty good. So now, I kind of run into the same issue on the top, but I think it's kind of okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click the whole thing and I'm going to do, tool, and we're just going to do the smooth UV tool, and I'm going to unfold and unfold and unfold. All right, and I don't like this. This is way more stuff than it deserves. So what I'm going to do is just click and drag over the area, go to tool, and we're going to go ahead and do the UV smudge tool. And I'm just going to kind of pull this back and up. All right. And I'll make this a little bit smaller, like so. Like that. Okay. So that looks a little bit better. I can also see here they got unattached because of when we cut it. So I'm select these two polygons, move and sew UV edges, and same thing over here. Just hit G because it was the last thing we did, and voila, that's now laid out. That one looks good. So now we have the hands here. Now we're gonna run into the same issue we had before, where if I check this and go to tool and I do the smooth UV tool, you're gonna see that because we cut it from the other one. Oh no, it looks okay actually, so never mind. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing here. unfold. All right, and there we go. So it looks good. Now the only thing is you got to go through, and you can see it's overlapping a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to the UV smudge tool, and I'm just going to take them and overlap it where there's overlapping. Okay, so just kind of that kind of a thing. Now you can just use the move tool, but I just find it a little bit easier because I don't have to click and then move and then click and then move. I can just, that looks okay. So that all looks all right, and we'll just do the same thing here. So wherever I see an overlap, which this one looks okay. Okay, Q, and there. All right, so now we got the face to do. Oh, we got the inside of the mouth too. Let's do the inside of the mouth next. Honestly, really doesn't matter, and I'm not all that concerned with it. I'm just gonna go ahead and do tool, smooth UV tool, unfold, and all right, and I'm looking at this, and it's just got some weirdness going on. I'm not 100% sure what's happening. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select this edge. I'll hit like W or Q or whatever, and you see how it grabs two. So I'm gonna do polygons, move and sew UV edges, and I'm just gonna look for any area where they might match up, and it looks like that's the only one. I was kind of hoping. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna grab an area specifically, like this, and we'll grab this area too. And I'm gonna go to tool, and we're gonna do the smooth UV tool. I'll try unfold and see if that works. All right, so I worked on the bottom. Let's try just the top. Now, if that doesn't work, you can try relax. Sometimes relax will actually do it too. But don't do relax on an entire shell. It will not work. So you see I can grab these two here. So I'm going to go Q, grab those two, polygons, move and sew UV edges, and now it's all one nice shell. Actually, I'm going to do it here too. This, I'll hit G since it was the last thing I did. Come on. G. All right. Polygons, move and sew UV edges. There we go. So now it's one big piece. Select this whole thing, and I'm just going to do tool, smooth UV tool, and we're just going to unfold. And that's kind of crappy, so let's see. W, boom, and we'll just move this over. Whatever. That honestly doesn't matter because it's inside the mouth, and we're going to make it one solid color anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. All right, now the head. First things first, what's really obvious is this piece that's kind of off. So more or less, this has got to get attached here. Okay, so I move these points over, you can kind of see. So I'm going to go to edge, select this, polygons, move and sew UV edges, select this one, just hit G to do it again, and I'm going to go to UV, select this one, move this over. Fabulous. Now, I'm just going to grab the whole thing, and tool, smooth UV, unfold. All right. Now, areas where you see that it gets kind of weird, I'm going to select that area, and then I'll do relax. Okay? Then I'll do a little bit of unfold to bring it back. So if you notice something's kind of weirdly pinched, as long as it's inside of a spot, you can try relax. But what you can't do is this. You can't grab this whole thing and watch. It's going to just crumple on itself. It has to have an area outside of it to kind of attach to. It's kind of like thinking about if you had a spider web. The spider web needs to be attached to something on the outside before you can kind of like work on the inside. And they get just as tangled and crapply as well. Okay. So the next thing to do is to take all these pieces and make them fit over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to randomly try and scale each one of these appropriately. So the biggest thing should be the head because you see it the most. I'm going to scale that slightly smaller. This is about the right size. This is the arm, so that's going to be considerably smaller. This is the leg, so it's got to be smaller. This is the foot. That's got to be a lot smaller, okay? So I'm just trying to think about these proportionately. These are the hands. All right, and I'm going to grab both of these, and I'll grab that, and I'm going to scale these, and these should be considerably smaller. All right, the head's a little bit overly large for what it should be, and the mouth is going to be super duper small. Okay, good. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to face, and all these extra pieces that are basically the other side here, I'm just going to go ahead and just delete those. All right, might seem kind of weird, but now what I'm going to do is grab all of them, and I'm going to hit this little button up here, and that's going to set them all inside. So I'm going to hit F, and you can see all of our pieces are now in here. Okay. In the next video, we'll set this up a little bit better, and we'll basically flip the UVs.